mean, the Labour Party is the traditional home for British Indians. It's the party that welcomed my family into this country in 1975, amidst quite a difficult time in British politics where we saw, racism and other far-right groups, which our families, fought against, and the British Labour Party sort of represented my family and families like mine, and welcomed them into this country. And it was the shared values of education and health and well-being that they shared. And Labour remains the party for British Indians. And you're right in the sense that, we must have seen a shift away in the last decade with this Conservative, share of the vote, the Conservatives getting the British Indian vote. But I think now we've come to realise that actually, from the cost of living crisis that Rishi Sunak presided over and his party presided over, it's disproportionately impacted the British Indian communities. So it's people are coming back to the realisation that the Labour Party is the only party that represents their values and cares about their family finances. And so, which is why I'm quite confident that we have, regained the trust of the British public. We are a changed Labour Party, and we're ready to serve for everyone, and not just a minute few. Mum is from Mumbai, and Dad is from Malawi, but before that, grandmother was from Gujarat, and I have a strong connection to India and my family there in Mumbai. And from there, I get the values of service. It's an honor to represent people, and as a young mother, it's about creating a better future for my son and the next generation. And it most certainly ties with my Indian heritage, because as Indians, we're proud to, be the voice for those who don't feel like they have a voice. We're proud to make those changes and speak up against injustices, which we have for decades. From independence to now, we speak up against all kinds of injustices, and it most certainly relates to my Indian heritage. As Indians, we take pride in our country, we take pride in service, and that is why I'm a Labour Party member, because it's public service and duty that is my sort of commitment. So yeah, and of course, I visit India very often, visit my family there, and I also work with organisations there like Shamada, which is also linked to a charity here called Kindle Spirit, where I'm a trustee. And what we do is we help survivors of human trafficking in Mumbai. And so far, our organisation has saved the lives of 1,200 women. So I'm deeply connected to my Indian roots, and I'm so proud that the values that has been instilled in me from my family have brought me here as a British Indian parliamentary candidate. In terms of fixing our NHS, it's a personal mission for me, because I'm a sepsis survivor. In 2019, I survived sepsis, and it was a difficult time. My lungs had collapsed. I was on a ventilator. I was fighting for my life, and not many people from my community actually understood the severity of sepsis and how important it is that you get access to a doctor within hours of getting sepsis in order to save your life. And so once I survived sepsis, I've been campaigning for the UK Sepsis Trust. I've been their ambassador, and I've been raising awareness in our South Asian communities as to how you can pick up the symptoms for sepsis, and also why I'm a Labour Party candidate, because the Labour Party created the NHS, and we are the only party that can save it and get people those appointments when they need it to save their lives. On the doorstep, people say we can't get a GP appointment, or we're on a waiting list for a hospital appointment, and it's just a desperate situation. There's an 8 a.m. scramble for appointments where people will beg, but still unable to get an appointment. So the biggest issue is the NHS waiting list, which Labour will overturn. We've done it before in government. Labour created the NHS, and we are the only party that can save it. The other issue on the doorstep is not having an accessible representative. So when I go to the doorstep and ask people about the issues they face, they just thank me and they say, thank you for coming and listening to me, because we haven't had that in a while. But I say to them that this is my role, and if I'm elected, it would be my job to listen to you and be accessible, be a visible member of parliament, not just at election time, but throughout. And that would be my role. And I assured voters as well that if I am elected as a member of parliament for Harborough, Oadby and Wigston, this will be my only job. I am committed to the constituents and the country, and always put them first before party, which unfortunately we haven't seen with the current state of affairs. So my message to all voters across Harborough, Oadby and Wigston is that if you haven't registered to vote, it's so crucial to have your voice on the 4th of July. So please register to vote by the 18th of June. And it's important that we use our voice to affect change. We've had 14 years of chaos. It's time for the Labour Party to bring stability back into our country. You know, living standards are down. Crime goes unpunished. Ambulances never come. The schools are crumbling over our children's heads. It's time for a fresh start. And I hope I can be that for you here in Harborough, Oadby and Wigston.